So now we're going to update the zone record, which is basically the label for the zone. Update.php file, which you find inside of the admin pages zone folder. If you open that file, open in PHP tag, and we start with object form equals new form, and then we go for the value equals object form get post, and we're looking for the form. For the value sent by post if is an empty value, then we are good, else throw new exception saying invalid entry. And if the value obviously isn't empty, then if object shipping update zone, and we're passing the array. Let me just finish this here. Okay, and we're passing the array with the name equals value, and the ID of the record is zone ID. So if it's been successfully executed, then we do something. Otherwise, we throw new exception again, and this time we're going to say record could not be updated. But if it's been successfully updated, then echo helper JSON array error equals false, and then semicolon at the end. We can now save the file. Obviously, we haven't got this update zone method, so if we copy the name of the method, go back to our shipping class, and we start with public function update zone. We have two parameters here, params null by default and ID null by default. I'm obviously changing this from params to array every so often, so let's use array rather than params. And now we check if is an empty array and is an empty ID. It doesn't really matter how you're gonna obviously call it. You can call it whatever you want. Just make sure to obviously use the same name within the method. Return false if obviously any of this is empty. Then we have this db prepare update, and we pass in the array through as the parameter. Then return this db update, and we update in this table 3, which is basically our zones table, and then ID to indicate which record should be updated. Now if we save it and go back to our browser, if we now click on our very local label, you can see it's again turning into the input, same way as we had it with the shipping section. We can add something, let's say very local zone. If we move cursor away, and now if we refresh the page just to make sure that obviously it didn't just update the label, but it saved the record in the database, as you can see it stays. So obviously the update has been successful. If we now remove this local zone and again move the cursor away, that's also been saved, obviously using Ajax.